and change our orientation. Go, why does it do this? And it's not going to let me do it after the fact. So we'll have to live with this. That's fine. We're going to do it the up and down way. I don't think it's a big deal. It's funny how you'd think that YouTube would be easy to set up live streaming, but it seems like it's always a chore. But there's always a way around everything, isn't there? And whether you see us in up and down mode or you see us portrait, probably not going to affect you very much, really, is it? Okay. So I did reset my router. I always do that. I always reset the router before we do one of these, and it's misbehaving a little bit. So people might tell me that they can see things going on. I see that we've got some people joining, but nobody's saying anything. So if you can hear me okay, tell me the text so that I'll know that we're going okay. And I'm getting the feedback, so I think it's working okay. All right, so today I want to talk about, well, let's have a look. We've got people coming up here. Cynthia Gales here from, she can hear me from Virginia, great. And Sarah can hear me, fine, good. And Jay Gills here can hear me. Ronald Brumley's here, loud and clear. Lisa Clark, Love Family, loud and clear. Muhad Ingram's with us. Holly McQuaid, who's got one of our puppies, is with us. Good to hear from you, Holly. And Chavez Bully Camp, good afternoon, James. Gentle Giants Companions, hi, James, I can hear you. Good. So I don't know what's up with this up and down. You know, after the fact, if you change it, it doesn't like it. So we just got to live with this. I don't think it's that big a deal. I like it better when we've got the wider format because Tammy and I can be side by side. Tammy will be here in a couple of seconds. So, right, so this is going to be a general Q&A, but I want to start off by telling you about the problems that we had a few days ago with the C-section. And first off, I consider myself to be an expert on this, and yet we kind of mucked it up. Didn't muck it up too bad. What happened was this. We had a girl, Dink. She's a full fluffy pie, beautiful girl. This is her second litter. Our first litter for us. The first litter was not with us. It was actually with Cody's daughter. So I didn't have really the information on what went on that. Well, I did have a little bit of information. That breeding, she really took a long time to be ready for a C-section. She was mucking around. Her temperature hadn't dropped. And I think they kind of got caught out a little bit and had to make a rush to the vet. Well, guess what? Similar thing happened to us. Here's the story. So when we've got a dog that is going to have puppies, we always get the dog in our house at least 3-4 days before a C-section, a potential C-section date. Potential C-section date is 61 days from an AI with a sensible progesterone number. She had a progesterone level that was very sensible, and 61 days took us to the next day. That night, that day, her temperature was like 99.6. Progesterone level was 8. Wasn't showing any signs that she was having puppies. And this is Chanel's dog, and Chanel's pregnant, so we looked after the dog for her. And I said to Chanel, look, she's not having puppies tonight. We're good for till tomorrow. I'm pretty sure of that. I'll bet my bottom dollar on that. Well, at midnight, she started to act a little bit antsy. So I thought, well, I better take a temperature. Took a temperature. It was 100.6. So that's like, okay, well, that doesn't mean she's having puppies. But whatever, I'm going to go, because she's acting antsy, I'm going to take the progesterone level. Progesterone level was 6.3. So that to me is a dog that's not going to have puppies, and we've got 24 hours to go or longer. Anyway, long story short, I put a camera in there as well. I was like, I want to just make sure things are going. So I kind of kept an eye on her during the night because I heard her, she's just really restless. And she's not normally restless. She's really restless. And Tammy gets up at 6 o'clock in the morning. The camera view that I've got is her face facing me. And so I can't see what has happened. There's a puppy hanging out back in. Tammy gets up at what, 6 o'clock in the morning?
Yes.
6 o'clock in the morning and says, "Oh, James, get here quick. There's a puppy hanging out back end," which there was. So we get her out of the cage in the crate. We get her out of the crate.
Get the Vaseline.
Get the Vaseline. I mean, the puppy looks like it's dead, and it's a pretty good effort to get that puppy out, which we succeeded in doing without, like, ripping legs and breaking bones or anything like that. We did try to resuscitate the puppy, but
we had the wash rag just in case we were going to be pulling things apart.
Right, yeah. But short story, basically the puppy was dead. So then we called our vet up and said, "Hey, she's come in early. We want to head your way right now. We'll be there." And that was about 7 o'clock.
"You bet. I'll be there."
Yeah, because the vet already knew what was going to go on. So we got there at 8. It's about an hour's drive. Got there at 8. Had a C-section. She doesn't show any signs of any more labor. She's obviously got more puppies in her.
I think she completely quit.
Yeah.
On trying to push a puppy out.
I think she was,
because his head wasn't big.
Not particularly.
But
no.
It was awful.
But again, big enough that we would never try and attempt to have a natural birth. We got forced into it. Anyway, so we had a C-section. And in the horn, probably that puppy came out. We had 4 puppies. One dead in, probably a couple hours in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning, whatever. Second one in that horn was dead. So it came out looking really white in the tongue. We tried like crazy to resuscitate it. Didn't get it done. 2 more puppies that are just fine.
Yeah.
So
there was yellow. Every puppy was yellow. That's from the stool in there. And he said stress will do that also. And
right.
That was awful.
Well, it sucks because, you've got 2 puppies that, what goes through my mind is, if I had realized there was a puppy coming out in the middle of the night, I probably could have got that puppy out and probably would then gone to the vet and probably the other one would have been saved. That's what you think. You don't know that's the case.
Yeah.
You can beat yourself up over it, but I'm not giving you this story for you to feel sorry for me or feel that I didn't do the right thing, because I think it did. But it's just the point here is this is such a delicate situation on timing C-sections.
Well, and the progesterone testing was...
Well, that's the point here as well, isn't it?
6 point, what was it?
6.3 or 6.7 or 6.3, I think.
Usually if it had been a 3 point,
we'd been
to the vet.
We'd been to the vet. Yeah, we'd been to the vet. The temperature said it wasn't ready.
She even ate that night.
That's right. There was nothing.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
She didn't nest.
Yep. So somebody here said, let's see how, Love Family said, "I'm new to this and I always hear that you have to have a C-section. Can you please explain why?" Because if you don't have a C-section, you end up in the crap show that we had. Even if you think you know what you're doing, you can get steered wrong. But here's the deal. French Bulldogs typically, especially, what do you think Dink weighs? 19 pounds? She's not a very big dog.
Yeah, she's about 19.
19. Bred to Rohan is probably 23. But the point here is, specifically to Love My Family, it is you need to have a C-section on French Bulldogs. If you don't, you like to have stuck puppies. If you have a stuck puppy like we did, you like to lose a puppy.
Lose the other ones.
We lost 2. We could have lost them all of them.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult to know exactly what's going on. And unfortunately, all the signals that we got said that she wasn't ready, but in fact she was. So there you go. So that's that story. And we'll show you those puppies in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, we'll show you the litter of Sylvie's puppies as well.
Yeah, the other puppies. Yeah, we've got 2 litters in our kitchen right now.
Yeah,
and
we talked about them a little bit last week and
we did.
showed them off real quick.
They're really doing well. Okay, so all right. So Chavez Kemp says the rule of thumb is 61 or 62. Well, I think the problem you've got here is
put me on here and
there you
go. Okay.
You're off right now. Get out of that. Sorry, get Tammy sorted out on a page here. Tammy, what's going on with your phone?
I don't know. It's.
There you go.
Okay.
I think. Hold on a sec. We'll get you there where we want to get you. Let me just talk to people for a minute. We'll figure it out. Okay, so Chavez Billcamp says, so the rule of thumb is 61 or 62. Well, my rule of thumb is this, that 61 days from a sensible progesterone level is your first target date. Remember, large litters tend to come early by day. Small litters, singleton puppies can be 3 or 4 days late. You don't want to take puppies till your dog is showing all the right signs, and specifically a progesterone level that's 3.5 or less. If you get in the situation I was at, progesterone level of 6.3. Still, that dog was ready apparently. But the point here is there is no defined single rule of thumb. It's really a combination of the whole picture. What you want to see in a dog where you're in the right place would be a dog that is about 61 days or more.
There we go. I got it.
Okay, cool.
I did it.
61 days or more from the sensible mating where you had a sensible progesterone level. Next one would be that a temperature has been dropping and is now at or less than 99.0. The dog's not eating any food. She's nesting and panting, and a progesterone level is 3.5 or less. You're in a safe place. That's a safe place. Any one of those things is not right. You just got to question it because it's not that any single thing gets you in the right place. It's really a combination of everything. So it is an art. And I can tell you this. I mean, even repo vets get this wrong. Hell, James and Tammy Chopping got it wrong. And we know what
we've been doing this for 23 years.
We know what we're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, we know what we're doing.
Well,
but we still got caught with our pants down. So that's the first. Well, it's not the only time that's happened, but it's the first time it's happened in 20 years.
Thought we knew what we were doing.
Well, yeah. Okay. So anyway, so right, let's have a look. Love Family says, I'm so glad I'm going to get mine fixed. Well, of course, that's the other thing. If you've got a dog that's not going to have puppies, you know that you're not going to have puppies. What do? You neuter the dog. You spay the dog. Why? Because number one, it's safer for the dog. It can never get ovarian cancer. That just can't happen. And the dog's not going to get accidentally pregnant, which can be a huge hassle if you don't need to breed a dog. So the right thing to do, for instance, Kit, who had her last litter, she's going to get spayed here in a little bit. You don't spay your dog while the dog's on the table having a C-section. That's a bad day.
You'll lose your mama dog.
Or
her milk will completely quit. And you'll have puppies to feed. You'll have puppies to feed if she goes. Doesn't make it.
Yeah. I mean, so what you think we had is, okay, look, I can save the expense of having a C-section. It's already on the table. Let's just do a spay at the same time. Don't do it. It's a mistake. All right. Don't Complain campaign says, is day 50 a good day for an x-ray? What day should I do a progesterone test? So great questions there. So the answer is x-rays before day 50 aren't very meaningful because the bones have not calcified. So day 50 or onwards is fine. We typically have only done an x-ray a few times when we're not sure what's going on, and it's been literally the day before we think that there should be some puppies in there. So for us, it's like day 58, 59. If you're doing an ultrasound, I would recommend that you wait till day 30. If you're doing a relaxant pregnancy test, I recommend that you wait until day. What are you doing, Tammy?
I'm trying to fit you up because you're crashing into me.
She loves me.
No, I don't.
No, you don't. Where was I? Relaxant pregnancy test, I'd wait till day 30 or longer. And the problem with I've never seen a false positive on a relaxant pregnancy test. They're dirt cheap. You can buy them at My Breeder Supply. I think it's like $70 for 5 tests. You do have to draw blood. You do have to centrifuge the blood. You do get results in a few minutes. It doesn't tell you how many puppies on board, but it does tell you your dog's pregnant. And for us, that's all that we really care about, because we're having a C-section where there's 1 puppy or 15 puppies. It's going to be the same C-section. If you do an ultrasound test, they are notoriously unreliable for coming up with false positives and negatives, where they think poop is a puppy and they think a puppy is poop. So I'm not a fan of ultrasounds. There's another question you had. Is a day 50 a good day? And what day should I do a progesterone test was the other question here. And the answer on that one is there's not much point doing a progesterone test unless you are darn close to due date, like within a day of it, and or her temperature has dropped dramatically and you're around 99.3 or less. Or you're in the situation I'm in, you don't know what's going on, and you do a progesterone test to get in here. Tell me, we can't see you.
That's okay. Go ahead.
Move this over.
I'm waiting for a fly to come by.
Oh, okay. Right.
I can't. I'm like Breaking Bad. That
Kathy
fly
Armin
drove him
says,
crazy,
my
drives
keto
me
is due
crazy.
September 23rd. An ultrasound done the other day shows 7 to 9 puppies. Right. Pending x-ray, will definitely be doing a C-section if over 5. Well, that's an interesting scenario there, that you're doing your C-section based on the number of puppies. And it's not actually the way that I do it. Let's give you a scenario here. Let's say she's going to have 3 puppies. There's a good chance that those puppies are getting tons and tons of nourishment, and you've got at least one big fat puppy in there. And that's the one that gets stuck.
Mm-hmm.
If you have 15 puppies in there, the chances are they're all relatively small, and you'll pass them all, actually. So I would not decide to have, I would decide to have a C-section based on historical evidence on the dog that you're breeding that you've had problems in the past. The breed itself, it's a French Bulldog, you should be C-sectioning. Or that you've done an X-ray and you see that there's a large puppy in there that she's not going to pass. And if you've got any doubts about this, have a vet on call. Thank you, Tammy. Get your face in there, Tammy Sue. Cynthia, you will. Okay. Kathy Armin says Cynthia will have puppies soon. Israel Vargas says hello. Hi. Okay, let's see. Where are we now? Cynthia Gale says we've been keeping an eye on our girl 63 days after ovulation tomorrow, which is 61 days typically from AI. Her temperature has gone down from 99 to 100. Now we are at 98.3 this morning. 98, and just check 98.0. That dog is having puppies sometime between now and tomorrow. So, what do you do with this dog? If she shows nesting and panting, pay really close. I would not have her out of I would have her in earshot all night long. Chances are she won't have puppies till tomorrow, but if she's 63 days from ovulation tomorrow, so I would have her in earshot. There's not much point taking a temperature anymore because you've already seen the temperature drop. If the temperature goes up, it doesn't matter. You've already seen the drop, right? It can go down and it can go back up. You've seen the drop. You're in a good place. If she starts nesting, then typically you're like 12 hours out or less from having puppies. If she's panting and shivering, then you might be 6 hours away from having puppies. If she has contractions, you've got to go to the vet right away. Hopefully you make it till morning. You probably will. Hopefully you've got a vet on standby because you can't guarantee this dog will not have puppies like ours did in the middle of the night. Cammy Durant's here. She says, I'm James Tammy, excited to be back from another live. Oh, good to have you back here. How are we doing on our... All right, so we've got a lot of people looking today. That's great, but only about a quarter of you have given us a thumbs up. So the other 3/4 of you, spend a couple of seconds and give us a thumbs up. Somebody else gave me a mint. My breath must stink.
Take two.
Take two. Should I stick
Yeah,
one on?
he had onions.
Should I stick one on my rear end because I had beans for lunch? Okay.
Maybe I can stand you for a little bit. Maybe I'll scoot over a little closer.
Israel Vargas has full fluffy velvet big roads. Well, great.
Oh, wow.
They should
Cool.
have a lot of people knocking on your door with those.
Yeah.
Frank Gardinus III. Folic acid good for cleft palates. I also heard for females to make more milk. Just asking. I don't think it's got anything to do with milk production. Folic acid is to do with providing some things that are needed during what's called gastrulation, where the beginning stages, the first month of development, where things start splitting and forming spines, and there's a thing called midline. The midline, it's a kind of a special thing that goes on, and I'm not a biologist, so I'm not going to go into this in any great detail, but when that's going on, folic acid helps with those things. And so things like cleft palates that are to do with midline can get messed up and you can get cleft palates. Mm-hmm. So I don't think folic acid is going to do a lick. If you want milk production, fenugreek seed might help. More calcium can help. You've got to be very careful about giving calcium to dogs before they've whelped, because you can give them eclampsia. It messes up their calcium cycle.
So don't give them cottage cheese before they have puppies. After they have puppies, do that.
So how often, Tammy, do you see dogs have milk before they whelp?
About, I don't know, not very often, but
I want to say 50% of the time. Dogs that have had puppies before tend to have milk before the whelp.
Dink had bukus of milk before she had puppies.
Yep. Second litter.
And
But
I've been having to use the other puppies to help empty her
yeah, you've got
because she
2
gets
puppies
so
on them.
tight.
That's nothing. We'll talk about that here in a moment. That's a
Yeah.
good point right there. So, all right. So the answer is I don't think there's much that you can be doing before whelp on milk production. If she's had puppies and you don't have milk, then you could start giving fenugreek. You certainly can put some calcium in her food in the form of NutriCal or in cottage cheese. And you can supplement those puppies because it can be 24, 48 hours before mum's milk comes in properly. But I don't think mucking around with things beforehand makes much sense. Oggy Quierolo says, I bought a 10K dog from you guys with knowledge of Frenchies. I love him to death and don't regret it at all. But he's got a gene that stops me from studying him. What? And then it says crooks. Oh dear.
Oh no.
Well,
this is the first we're hearing this, or what?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I would say, look, I don't know what that gene is that stops you from studying him, but rather than have kind of vent yourself here on this forum, call us, tell us what's going on, because this, you just sprung this on us now. I don't know what's going on, but I mean, we're here to help. All right. Cynthia's off to the vet first thing tomorrow morning. We're going an hour away using the incubator. Should someone sit in the back with mama and keep an eye on the puppies? What do I need to do to help pups? So, take your emergency kit with you, which means your incubator, you've got that. Have it plugged in, have it warmed up, have some towels, have some scissors, have some dental floss, have some Vaseline. And if she starts to show signs of going into labor, get some Vaseline up well inside her vagina and let grease her up really good. If she starts to go into labor, typically dogs can go into labor and not produce any puppies for an hour or two. So don't start driving at 100 miles an hour to get to the vet, but get to the vet. So typically what we do is the girl's in the back seat in her cage, and we can hear what's going on. And so, if we hear unusual things or complete silence, we'll look around and make sure that she's sleeping and not doing something like sitting up and looking at the back end.
You see where John Merlot says his female goes for x-rays Tuesday. She's almost 30 pounds, up from 23 pounds.
Oh, there we go.
I mean, is she about to explode? I mean, if she's gained that much weight, it could be water. It could be bukus of puppies.
It's the most likely thing.
Yeah.
Right. And look, you don't want a skinny dog going into, I mean, if you've been feeding her well and she's got a good appetite, she's put some weight on because of that, that's not a bad thing, because I promise you, the majority of dogs, by the time you're 10 days into this, they start to look pretty damn skinny. So if you look at Sylvia, the one who had the litter here a week ago, which has been about 8 days ago, is that right? Because her eyes are opening up.
Yeah.
I thought
slits.
I thought she was going to look like skin and bones, but she's actually doing pretty good.
Oh yeah, she looks way good now.
She looks pretty good. But normally, you see a dog that's a little bit skinny right after it had, its spine showing right after puppies.
And she tucks in from her ribs back. It's awful. It's awful. All females are different, so they don't all look like that.
Jay Finest is with us. He says, I finally made it. What did I miss? You missed the giveaway. Unfortunately, you missed the raffle. So you missed on a $10,000 prize. But there you go.
So did the other people.
Yes. Beth puts in, what is so wrong with brindle and pied? Good Lord, I get this all the time. There's nothing wrong.
There's not anything wrong.
So,
the only reason why we don't have pie or brindle in our program is we're real high up on our tan points. If you have pointed dogs and you don't want the brindle because it runs little vein looking things up their arms and it takes away the prettiness of the tan points. That's the only reason why we don't.
Right.
Because we used to do brindles. We had a reverse brindle named Tigra.
Yes.
Now the pieds, we love pieds, and you can control pieds if you don't like pieds. If you got a dog that carries pied and you don't want any pieds, use a stud that does not carry pied. You won't get any pieds, but if you use a stud that carries pied and she carries pied, you're going to get pieds.
Or a quarter of those will be pied.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, pieds are beautiful. Pieds and merles are like a painted pony. I just love it. Um,
And so reverse brindles, they're the good-looking dogs. There's kind of tiger
oh
look stripes.
gosh,
Yes.
yeah, her name
But-
was Tigra,
but
so that's why.
We've got pied cat. We used to have a pied boy. Actually, we've had a couple of pied boys.
Well, when
We
we
don't have any more.
yeah,
We've
we
got pied
first
carriers.
we
right?
first started out, we
Yeah.
had pied female,
Yeah.
or I mean brindle. You're talking about brindle or pied?
Pied. We used to have a couple.
Oh, okay.
Well, we had some.
Oh, we
brindles
had
too.
Irish pied too.
We did.
Beautiful boy. Yeah.
Yep.
So we had dogs that did carry brindle
Right.
when we started out. And then we got to learning about the tan points. So we had to back away from that and not
Yep.
carry studs.
And what
with it.
what you will find, and people aren't going to agree with this, what you will find is that the higher priced dogs don't have brindle. The problem with brindle is it takes only a single gene, it's a dominant gene, and a single gene will express itself. So if you have a dog that's a brindle carrier, half of that dog's offspring, regardless of the female, at the very least, are probably going to show brindle. But again, people think that we're against brindle. We're not. We just don't have brindle because of this tan point situation. Now, enough of that.
So there's people out there that love pieds. I mean, love brindles, and every right so. Everybody's eye appeal's different, so they are pretty.
Kathy Amarine is with us. I've watched all your videos. I keep missing your live. So glad I made it. Well, good. I hope you enjoy it. Good. Great.
Thanks for
look,
give us a thumbs up.
Yes, we still need. We've got half of you now who have given us a thumbs up. The other half need to do it. Give us a thumbs up. Lisa Clark, how often do you have complications from C-section with mum? Hesitant to schedule them due to maternal risk and better mothering from natural birth, but have needed C-sections for stuck puppies in 2 out of 5. There you go. So, complications from C-sections for us has almost been 0. We did have a dog many, many, many years ago where her stitches came undone. And
those were a year that there were stitches that were out there that were bad stitches.
The vet claimed it
Not
was
just
our
vets, other vets had
defective stitches. You know, we're not the kind of people who sue people, so we just put it down to an unfortunate situation.
Yeah.
There's a good vet. We've used him a lot, and so we didn't want to pile it on him. But
remember one time when the weight of the dog was wrong. When they weighed the dog, the vet understood something else, another weight number.
Gave too much anesthesia.
Too much anesthesia. So we lost Mama, and we did lose one puppy out of that.
Yes.
Also.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
that was an accident that couldn't be helped.
So
friend of ours.
Going back to Lisa's statistics, 2 out of 5 had stuck puppies. So you're 40% stuck puppies. Other than what happened the other night, we just don't have this problem because we have C-sections. So there is an expense in C-sections, but I think it is well worth it. I would not ever take the risk. The only time I'd ever even contemplate this would be a really big girl bred to a small stud with an X-ray beforehand to show there's lots of small puppies in there. And then I want to have a
even that's questionable because somewhere down the gene you can have a big old puppy in there. You know, it just don't know when that would be.
Desiree Chapman says, I'm a big fan. I have a black and tan male and a harlequin blue merle female. What are the possibilities of puppy combinations? Well, we don't know because you don't have the DNA and you haven't given us a lot of information.
It's black and tan and a blue merle.
We do know this. Half the litter are going to be merles. The black and tan could have a copy of blue. If it does, then half the litter will be blue. If it doesn't, it'll be blue carriers. If the merle doesn't have tan points, then you're not going to get any tan pointed dogs, and then you're not going to get any black and tans. So, what are you going to get? We need more information to give you much more information, but much better than that. Mr. Clean, on the ultrasound, they say they see one puppy, but she looks pretty big. You think she might have more? Absolutely. Yeah. And she looks big.
Yeah. Well, look at the weight difference, though, from, what did he say? 20.
That wasn't Mr. Clean, was it?
Oh, no, that was John Merlot. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, there always could be more.
Gentle.
I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
Look at her body size. If you see one, side looks bigger than the other, and
yeah, exactly.
Could be.
Yeah, I look
two on one side.
I look for odd numbers when I see one side's bulging out a lot more than the other, and that's
Now, have you noticed that we've had 2 litters in a row now that have one puppy in one sack on That one side.
Well, that one there may have had two, and one of them was a stuffed puppy, and the
Oh,
other one was a
okay.
dead one. So,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
there may be something with that.
I thought he said there was just one side.
No.
Mm.
Gentle giant companions. My girl is day 35 from her first examination. I'm going to the vet for a preg check, ultrasound. Good, great, yes. One Mad Mike, I haven't seen that name before, says good evening. Good evening to you, Mad Mike.
Is that Mad Mike Tyson?
It could be.
Bite your ear off.
Only if you're Evander Holyfield. Is that right?
I don't know.
What are we doing on this here? We're still running 50-50 on the
thumbs up.
Thumbs up. We've got lots of people watching. That's great, but we like more thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up. You can answer this one, Tammy. Don't complain campaign. Try that one.
What's the reason for switching to puppy food while mom is pregnant? And is it a must? Well, I think it should be a must because you're getting more of what puppies have in their puppy food, like in there, like calcium. What is the?
Well, I mean, the reason for this is that to make puppies, you have to have protein.
Yeah.
Puppies are made from protein. Mum needs carbohydrates, gives you energy. Mum doesn't need energy.
Yeah.
She needs protein. And so puppy food is a high protein food. And the reason for that is puppies are growing quickly, so they need more protein. And guess what? There's puppies growing in a belly, consequently more protein. So should you do it? Absolutely. Is it a must? If you don't do it, I don't think it's going to be a disaster. But why would you not do something that apparently
that makes the puppies more healthier?
Yeah.
You know, mama
Right.
carrying them. It
Right.
also gives mama that extra boost. And you want mamas to have that extra boost when they're fixing to have puppies. It's
Get rid of that.
huh?
Get rid of that.
You don't like it?
No, I'm just chewing on the camera. I just don't think that's
Oh.
very, very appropriate.
Well,
it's not very.
Okay, then I'll go back over here.
Stop it. So I was going to say something else about that. Now I've forgotten what it was. Well, look, here's an example. This first litter that we've got, Sylvia's litter of 5, they are roly-poly little butterballs.
Oh yeah. Do I bring them out now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Dink's litter are a lot smaller. There's just 2 puppies in there, and
tiny,
they
tiny,
weighed 7 ounces at
Yeah.
birth, versus the other one weighed 8.5 to 10 ounces at birth. There's nothing like having a good start. You know, it's a bit precarious when you've got these small puppies at birth. You're going to spend a lot more time worrying about them and thinking whether you should be tube feeding and put them in incubators and things like that. This litter of just the 2, they're doing okay. They are gaining weight, but it's been a little bit of a struggle. We haven't had to do anything special for them. Part of the problem is that mum wants to lick the crap out of them all the time. She's licking them when they're nursing. She's knocking them off titty.
Who's over here?
She's got a huge amount of milk because she's just a great milk
smacking
producer.
away?
We've had to put some other puppies from the other litter on her.
Who's
Keep
over
her drained
here
down.
smacking
She's
and
not
smacking?
really settled down yet, like Sylvia has.
Okay.
Sylvia is just perfect. You couldn't ask for a better mother. Sylvia, Dink, who has had a litter before.
Okay,
She's,
that bother you.
you know,
I gotta
she's
take
a
you off
bit
kitty.
lost, but
There you
she'll
go.
come around.
Come here, babies. Oh, goodness sake, let go. I pulled it off.
Do we have a Banks bloodline in your program? Yes, we do. And you have to get Tammy to tell us who that is. Kathy Amarin already gave a thumbs up. Well, thank you, Kathy. And we are still, people are picking up on the thumbs up a little bit, but look, a few more thumbs up would be nice. It doesn't cost you anything. Just do it.
Oh.
Frank Gardinas says, I have a female with 10 points, but they are not very clear, as my other 10-point dogs. She's an 88. Does that matter? No. What's going on here is I'll bet you your bottom dollar that she carries a copy of Brindle. That's what's going on, probably. So there's 2 ways you can get 10 points. In either case, you don't want to have Brindle present. ATA makes for a more orangey tan point most of the time. ATAT makes for a whiter tan point. If you have a copy of cream, that enhances tan points and makes them lighter. And if you have copies of intensity, especially 2, it will make them very, 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 very white. In fact, if you look at You're Gonna Love My Pups, I'm not sure if Tammy's putting the pictures up yet. But you okay there?
No. James.
Tammy.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Tammy's struggling with puppies then. Good Lord. Getting me worried, Tammy.
I know.
Let me just.
I've got a tray right here.
We're off camera for a second while we get these puppies sorted out. All right. There we go. They're just so roly-poly.
Well,
Tony had a handful trying to move 5 puppies in the kitchen, and
yeah.
anyway.
Okay, now I got them in a tray. Okay.
We're going to show you some puppies
now, don't
here.
give me any more trouble, or you get the same thing.
All right.
I'm gonna try to scoot over.
Show your puppies off, and then I'll start asking questions as you're doing that.
Okay, give me my paper that's down there.
We'll show them off first, and I'll start talking about other stuff.
I'm wanting this. Thank you. Okay, this is little Cider. This is a boy. He is a new shade. Isn't he beautiful? And I bet you any amount of money he's got 2 copies of Intensity because of his coloring. Look how creamy his tan points are. Just creamy, creamy. Your foot scared me to death. I thought a puppy was going over. But look at the wrinkle on his nose, his rope.
You got 2 minutes to show these puppies off, Tammy.
Cypress is a big, thick boy. When I say thick, he is a big, thick boy. He is a lilac and tan. And he probably carries
DNA went
as
off
well.
today, so we'll know.
Yeah.
Well, I say
Yeah.
today, it's in the
No.
post. It's in the post, so
Yeah.
we'll know the DNA
Real
in
nice,
about a
thick
week.
shoulders. And remember, these are all fluffy carriers, and anything that's lilac and tans will be carrying testable.
So I want to send this
now
an
we
educational.
know-
I want to send this an educational thing.
We also know that Isabella's, there are 2 copies of testable, the new shade. So this is a lilac, this is a testable. I mean,
That's
this
a
is
new
a new
shade.
shade.
Which means that
Okay.
it's little D,
It's
little B, little B,
2
little C, little
boys.
C. Right.
Cypress and Sterling. And somebody's pooping on each other here. This is little female, and her name is, I think that's Hazel. Yeah, this is little Hazel.
There's 3 girls, 2 boys.
Lilac and tan, Hazel carries testable, full fluffy, or a fluffy carrier. And this little girl already has a new home. And this is Veruca. James, help me here. This is Veruca. She is a new shade as Bella.
She's already spoken for, isn't
Yeah,
she?
she's fluffy carrier, and she gorgeous. Yes. And then this is Autumn. Yes.
By the way, when you get a girl from us, she comes
lilac
with,
and tan. You know she carries cream. Look, the intensity is going to be just really super nice.
So
as well.
when you get a female from us, they come with
testable
lifetime
chocolate fluffy carrier.
breeding spec to any of our studs.
I got it all over me.
Is that all of them?
Yes.
So now I want you to pick up that first one. I want you to talk about the structure, what you can tell about structure of a puppy
Okay.
when it's a week old. No, I don't want it on my face. Thank you very much. But let's make this, rather than just us showing off our puppies, let's talk about structure
Yes.
and what you can tell.
Okay.
Look, you don't-
Real flat face.
You don't
Nice
know.
wide muzzle. Open nares. Wide eyes spread up here. Nice ear set. Nice short ears.
Big head.
Nice, yes.
Right.
Nice and through the shoulders.
Stocky body.
Yes.
Look at the
Short
musculature in the
legs.
back legs. Look at that. Look
Yes.
at the
Little
back. the
short
rump.
legs.
Yep.
Yep. Nice and square in the hip. Of course, that's fat there too as well.
This one's climbing out.
I know.
Yep. So, but I think that you do get, you don't quite know what you're getting until they're really 3 months old. But
over the place.
But you do get an idea of structure.
Look
if
at
you
that structure.
Puppies. And
Nice and thick boy. He is nothing but bone and short little feet. He's going to be a low rider.
So now you got to put those back up.
Yeah. Okay. You asked me to do it.
I know.
Okay. Okay. Ooh, Mama's got to clean them up.
I've lost one. Go ahead. Don't. This. Okay. There you go. All right. Now back to Q&A.
You want to do it?
No.
Okay.
I've lost one. There we go. Torrance says, what would be the type of stud you'd choose DNA wise to breed to a platinum? Well, so a platinum dog should be little d blue.
Get back.
Little co cocoa.
Get back.
Little e.
There you go.
Cream. That
There
dog
you
could
go.
have other things like moral present.
Poopy all
It could have
over.
pied
Look,
present. It could have
somebody
brindle
just
present.
literally just
None of those things are
messed
going to
all
should have
over
10
everything.
points. None of those things are going to show up
Yucky,
because
yucky.
the the cream part
Get busy,
is
Mama.
like white paint, covers everything up. So you really need to have a full DNA to know exactly what you've got there, because but the answer is, if you like platinums, breed back to another platinum. If you like blues, breed to a blue. If you like cocos, breed to a cocoa. If you like lilacs, breed to a lilac, because you can guarantee that you'll get those colors. Now, if you bred a platinum to a lilac dog that doesn't carry cream, every single dog will be a lilac that carries cream. It's guaranteed. So, you really can, in a platinum, you really can get an idea about what your likely, well, not just likely, but you can almost guarantee exactly what you're going to get litter-wise with a platinum, depending on what you breed to. So, which of those should you breed to? I mean, it's your choice. And so, to me, I don't like to have a whole litter of platinums because they all look cream. And so I typically don't breed a platinum to a platinum. I'll breed a platinum to maybe
They're hungry.
a merle
Hungry.
lilac that carries cream.
Yes, they
And then
are.
I'll get some merles and
baby.
I'll get some lilacs and I'll get some
Eat
platinums out of it.
too.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Logan Martell, how many litters do you max your females out at? That's a good question. So the answer on this is there's no specific number of C-sections or breedings that we say we're going to do. But every time that we have a C-section, we always get the opportunity to look under the hood and see how her uterus and her reproductive organs look. And if she's not got a lot of scarring, not a lot of thinning, not a lot of adhesions, then we're good for another litter. And on top of that, we want to make sure that the litter that we just now got on the ground, we don't have any complications, that mum's a good mother, that we enjoy it, that we find new homes for them, and everything's good. If that's the case, we're breeding next time. If any of those things are not true, then, for instance, you can't sell a puppy. You can't find homes for them. Mum doesn't bounce back. She's not a good mother. That may decide that that's the last litter she has, or you may wait for the next, may miss a cycle. Text in the 13 VL says, James and Tammy are great people. Well, thank you. We appreciate that. We do care about this. We do care about you, believe it or not. It's not just all about, hammering dogs and having litters and making money. It's about, having a life with dogs. I mean, to me, dogs are some of the best animals that walk this earth. I mean, they're so loyal to us. Even mistreated dogs like their owners. It's amazing how dogs are so faithful to us as humans. I mean, they really do have love for us and show it in the way that they behave. I mean, not necessarily every dog, but all of our boys and girls, they're just really nice animals, and it's a joy to be around them. And for the most part, they're quite a bit nicer than the humans that we're around. It's the truth of it. I mean, it's the truth of it. Anyway, all right. So we're doing a little bit better on the thumbs up. There's more thumbs up, folks. We're still battering about half. All right.
That littlest boy's.
Do you have any adult dogs also looking for new homes? Prince Ali asked. Yes, Cody does actually. Cody's is cutting back on some of his studs. So he's got some studs that are only a year old, and some of them are 3 years old, that are not going to be. Am I moving over this way?
No.
Oh, you want me over this way?
Yes.
Okay, get in there.
Thank you.
So yeah, you can call Cody 806-664-0173. They're going to come with full AKC. He's got some nice dogs. They're not being got rid of because they're problem dogs. They're not being got rid of because they haven't produced. They're being got rid of because he's got duplicates of things. He doesn't need 2 lilac and tans.
Yes.
So obviously, if he's got 2 lilac and tans, guess which one is going to get moved on? It's going to be the one that is not the better of the 2, but it's still.
Well, I think we have like a blue and tan that carries Cocoa, carries Fluffy, and then we have the lilac and tan that carries Fluffy. So which one would you keep? Used to, it gave people an option for a lower price in breeding a female.
But the answer is Cody does have some dogs, males, that he is going to rehome, and they won't be expensive dogs. I can't get to. Why can't I see the? Can you see the text on yours? See if you can.
Yeah, I see mine disappeared a while ago.
I know mine disappeared.
Must be something. Okay, so you're where?
See what's going on. Here we go. I got to. There we are. No, right. Do we have a Banks? Do we have a Banks line female?
Yes.
Yeah, we do that.
Coco.
Okay,
Yes, you bet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Someone's asked about it. Yes.
Oh yeah. Yes, it is true. We did get one.
Her
name is Coco. Little bitty tiny thing. Very short and cobby. Full of spunk. She is a character.
Cynthia says, Peter Ellis, owner of Sub-Zero, said he knew you and he said he had one of your pups before.
That's one we're talking about.
What's that?
Oh, who did?
Peter Ellis. Do you remember that name? I remember that name.
Yeah, Pete Ellis. He has, that's what we were just talking about. If we have one of his. Oh, Banks. Okay, now I'm getting them mixed up.
Yeah,
yes,
you are. He's got one of our dogs.
Have Pete Ellis's boy. No, not Banks. What is his name? Anyway, yes, I do, and her name is Coco. The other dog was. Let me think. She is. She's the one that had the.
Oh, Pete Ellis is here. It's Texas 13 VR. Hey, Pete, how are you?
Help me out here, Pete.
Yeah, tell us who we got.
I'm going blank. You can tell when breeders have puppies because your brain is mush. You're up at night, you're worrying about babies, and so our functioning level is, or mine is completely zilch. You see the bags under my eyes and
it's not been that bad, really.
No, you do a worrisome thing. I'm constantly making sure the babies are latching on and all that. But yes, Pete Ellis, I do have a little female named Coco that I got from not from you, and so anyway, her name's Coco, and she's a beautiful little confirmation.
Texan 13 VR, who is Pete Ellis, says I own Banks and Sub-Zero. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yes. So he's a good person.
Yeah.
He's one of our trusted friends. We think he's a nice person.
Yep. I thought somebody was.
Oh, someone else says Big Brothers Bulldogs says Pete is good people too, for sure.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Very trustworthy, very honest.
Yes.
We all love Pete.
Yes.
He's a fantastic guy.
Yes. All right, so let's have a look here. I'm looking through questions. Right, so do you want to go grab those other two little girls that you got?
No, it's two boys.
You want to wait?
Yeah,
okay.
He gained a 0.8 ounce.
Okay, so these puppies.
He is 7'7" now.
Were born at 7 ounces, and now they're at 7'7".
Yeah, they were at 6'7" and 6'3", and now we're at
2.5 days into this.
8 and at 7'7" now.
Yeah, so I think we're out of the woods, right?
Well, knock on wood.
Yes,
that's
wood
exactly
right.
Or right here on your head.
Yes. Gerardo Rodriguez says, I love this channel. Texan 13 VR, which is Pete Ellis, says, love this channel. He says, I appreciate you all. Well, we appreciate you too, Pete. All right, can you tell us about your fantastic incubator? Well, hold on a second here.
That we sell on mybreedersupply.com.
I'll go get it. Tell people where they can find it, and I'll go get it.
Okay. It is on mybreedersupply.com, our traveling incubators. Ever since we've had that, that's been a miracle worker on when you take it with you. You can plug it in. It's pennies to run it. You plug it in before you go to the vet. And you're fixing to. You can plug it in 2 days before you go to the vet. Leave it plugged into the wall. Then when you go to the vet, take the plug in with you, and then go. You have your car hook up. This one to hook up into the car, and you can.
This is the only portable incubator that you can buy that I'm aware of. Yeah. People say they've got portable incubators, which means you can move them from one room to another in your house with 110 volts. This one runs on either 110, 220, or 12 volts. Mm-hmm. So
the
you can run it anywhere in the world, literally, right? Yep. So other salient points about this is it's portable.
Oh, you pinched my arm.
It weighs 7 pounds. Yep. It's portable.
We'll show them what else is fixing to come about.
Oh, yeah, the new ones. Well, it's not happening yet, but new ones are going to have
the little window. And you have your vents up here at the top.
Right.
But it's not dry air.
There's a temperature controller. You can't see it very well there, but
you can.
Thermostat that you can control the temperature. It stays at whatever you set it to, which typically going to be something around 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yep. So this piece is what you plug into your wall at home. When you unplug it to leave to go to the vet, make sure you have this to plug into the car. Do not leave this at home because you want to take this with you and plug it into the wall at the vet's office when you get it out of the car. Then when the babies go in there, you've already got it nice, toasty warm, and you've got this plugged into the wall, and this one goes into the car. So when you leave the vet, make sure you take this one with you, plug this one back in,
Yes.
and then
So
you're good to go. And
there's no openings inside.
you can get 10
newborn
small,
puppies.
newborn
Puppies,
French
Frenchies.
Bulldogs in this one.
We do have a large one that's substantially larger for
Yeah.
the same price. It's
Oh,
not
you
as
can put
portable.
baby goats in the other one. That's large.
Right. So there's nothing, there's no
Maybe
openings, there's nothing to break down, there's no fans, there's no light bulbs. You
Nope.
can drop this thing, it keeps on working.
And the little light that comes on down here, that it's not plugged in, you can't see it.
Yeah.
There is a little light in there, and then there is a little hole for your oxygen, little tube to go in there.
A little plug you can remove.
Yep.
And that lets you put an oxygen port in there.
Mhm.
But this thing, I mean, what's the price on this? It's around
What's the temp when you get it?
38
38.
centigrade, which is about 100
And
degrees
you can
Fahrenheit.
set it
Set
and
whatever you
reset
want.
it. Yeah.
Right. And when you turn it off, it doesn't forget the temperature.
Because it
But
can get too warm for babies if you keep it shut up. And
We've
it's
been
too high.
manufacturing these things for about 10 years. We've been having, there's various iterations that have happened over the last decade. A lot of people have these. Honestly, you can go buy a pet brooder for $1,300. I think this is better than a pet brooder. It's certainly a lot less
This
expensive.
is drier. I
It's
mean,
right.
it's not dry.
There's no forced air.
Right.
It doesn't dry the air out. The heat comes up through the floor. You don't need a nebulizer.
I mean, it needs to run. So when you get home from the vet, plug it back into the wall. Leave it on just in case if you have a little emergency thing going on with the puppy that gets cold, gets ill.
Good
you
Lord,
want
we turned
to
that into an
warm
advert,
the
didn't we?
puppy. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So let's keep on going.
MyBreederSupply.com. There I am doing my sales pitch.
Just curious, did Mr. Sir Humplot retire? Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He did. He
My little humpy.
Yep. He was a great dog.
Oh,
He's still
yeah.
around. He's still having a good life. I think he's with Lee, actually, isn't he?
Uh-huh.
He's with Lee. So
Yeah.
one of our guys has got him.
Lee and those dogs.
So there we go. There's the incubator. Have you ever known anyone who'd had live puppies inside the mum with open pyometria leaking? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, if you have closed pyometria, that's where you don't have puppies.
If you've got pyometria, you give antibiotics, and you can have pyometria, specifically open pyometria, and still have a successful litter. So just because you got pyometria, I would not spay unless I can tell you this: lots of vets are going to want to spay. I would spay a dog with pyometria if it was a closed pyometria or if her temperature has skyrocketed, she's not responding to antibiotics. But if you catch it early and you give her antibiotics and her temperature's under control and she's not acting like she's very sick, likely can get away with this.
Yeah.
That was that one. James is best. I've learned so much from this since I started breeding. Oh, you're welcome. So someone says, Big Brother says no pie automatically terminates pregnancy. I don't agree. We've had dogs with pie that had successful litters. We can tell you we've done it. And the majority of time,
but not closed pyometria.
So the difference between this, let's talk about what pyometria is. Pyometria in Latin means pus-filled bag. So what happens is you get infection of the uterus. Typically, this happens when dogs go into heat. Their cervix opens up a little bit. They get some dirt in there, muck in there. It may be part of the AI process. You could have had a surgical with some contamination going on. But those dogs can get really sick.
Like Kiki.
If it's an open pyometria, it's draining out. Antibiotics can fix this and you can get past it. I've bred dogs successfully with pyometria. You tend to see it more in younger dogs, and after they've been bred a few times, pyometria tends to go away. Most vets will say, if you've got a dog with pyometria, breed it. I know you're not going to agree with that, but that's what they say. All right. Do you guys do Instagram? Yes. Chanel has an Instagram. What is it?
Love My Pups Official on Instagram. We've got babies on there right now. Like the ones we showed you. You have to see those videos. They're really cute.
Tar Profit TV says, hey, James, quick question. If you have 4-week litters, poop changes from firm to mushy, is it time to deworm? It's not time to deworm because their poops change. It's time to deworm because they're 4 weeks old. So routinely deworm your dogs every 2 weeks. 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks.
2 weeks and 4 weeks is with Nemax 2 puppy wormer. At 6 weeks, you do Safeguard.
For 3 days in a row.
3 days in a row.
Fendobendazole or Panicure, same thing.
So you do that at 6, 8, 10, 12, whenever, till the puppies leave your home.
So
3 days in a row.
If you've got mushy poop, then if you haven't dewormed them, worm them. But the other thing is
you can smell it too if they've got something
Well,
funky
you can
going on.
see it if they've got worms.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
You can see it
But I
worms.
mean, anytime, like a stool sample to the vet is good enough to take to the vet to see what's wrong. If your puppy's doing something funky, you can always tell by the stool. And then it's like
Yep.
coccidia
So
or giardia
one
or
good remedy for a loose stool is to give them some canned pumpkin. It's completely safe. You cannot go wrong with it. Sometimes mushy poop, because things are going on, there may not be any intestinal parasites or anything else. Just give them some
probiotics is what I always think of to use first if you want. If you know that you just recently wormed them and they still have something going on, there may be a bacterial thing that's in their gut. So probiotics are very safe to give a puppy. They need their teeth to chew it up a little bit. It's a soft little.
Yep.
deal.
Corey Blackshear says, do you administer all of your shots yourself, your puppies, or do you prefer to go to the vet's office?
Nope. That's where sick dogs go. So if you can get your own shots and give the shots, that's best. And here we do it 6, 9, and 12 weeks old. We do every 3 weeks in between. You can go up to 4 weeks in between, but it's 6, 9, and 12 is what we do. If you do it 2 weeks in between, it's too early. It doesn't do any good. You have to start it all over again.
Right.
Yeah, and if you go over the 4 weeks.
So what are the reasons for doing it?
6, 12,
give me the
9.
reasons for doing it at home.
Hmm?
Give me the reasons at home.
Well, 6, 9, and 12, I said, meant.
Give me the reasons at home.
Well, like I said, sick dogs go to the vet.
You avoid getting exposure to sick dogs, number one. Number two.
Mm-hmm.
Give me number two.
Oh, you go ahead, because I don't know what you're going to say.
Number two, because it saves you a ton of money. It's like $5 to $6 a shot versus
I don't
$50.
I don't know that way. Remember?
Okay.
It's saving money.
And it saves you time. You don't have to go all the way to the vet's office, because you can give shots to puppies in just a minute. I mean, literally, you can give 5 puppies a shots in just a few minutes.
Yeah.
There is one thing you cannot give a shot for, though, and that is, Tammy?
Rabies.
Rabies shot.
Well, you can, but you're not going to be in the books there at the vet's office.
You won't get a rabies tag.
No.
If you want a rabies tag, which you're supposed to have on your dogs, you have to have a vet administer it. So that's the one you can't get. Okay.
But yeah, anytime you go to the vet's office, you're taking a chance on the puppies bringing back home something.
Had to happen.
You can touch the door handle that somebody walked in with a
Parvo
dog
home.
with parvo.
Yep.
You can step your shoes, walk in it when you're putting your hands up on the counter to pay out.
Yep.
You're picking it up there and putting it on the puppy.
Who is the
so
most
easy to-
susceptible dog that you have is a puppy that's not had a full round of shots. Puppies don't get full immunity until they're 6 months old. So anytime that you take them outside your home environment, now you've just got yourself a puppy, it's 10 weeks old, you run out to the dog park, you go to PetSmart with your dog. Those are all dangerous things to do.
Treat it like it's a little 2-legged baby,
Yep.
your little human baby. Don't take it out until it's had all its shots
French's
done.
Nola says, I got one of your incubators. It's great. One of the best items on the market. Thank you. We think so too. Absolutely.
We have thumbs up. We need some thumbs up.
People are doing pretty good, but there's like 15 of you haven't given us a thumbs up. And I don't know why you don't like us.
Y'all want me to hit James? I will, and you can give me a thumbs up.
See if it works. Go ahead, do it.
No.
Prince Ali says, puppies can't void pee or poop without being stimulated by a mum or a wet towel. How often do you do that?
Oh, I'm getting lots of thumbs up, James.
You did.
I'll do it again.
Hit me through. So it's stimulating puppy. Look, here's the deal. For us, we leave mum and babies together all the time, so they get in the habit of stimulating. If they're not stimulating, take some peanut butter, smear it on the back ends. Mum will lick the crap out of that.
Oh, man, she loves it. If you want to, you can test it on your finger. And then, she likes it. And then just smear the rest of it on the back end of that puppy, and she'll clean that right up.
But if you're taking puppies away and you're feeding them after you've done that, stimulate them if mum's not doing it. It's much better to get mum to do this.
Like a while ago, they had pooped all over themselves, and she's in there cleaning them up now.
Joe Ortiz, we're getting to the end of this here because we're coming up on now. Joe Ortiz says, what is a good brand of food for puppies when leaving mum's milk? So you're weaning puppies from milk onto, what are you feeding them?
I'm feeding them Life Abundance puppy, small breed puppy that we sell on our website.
And you're softening that up?
.mybreedersupply is where we sell it, yeah.
So Tammy takes that, she wets it down with some warm water, she lets it sit for 30 minutes or longer.
Oh, 45 probably.
45. She mushes it up. She
to
gives
make
it
it real soft.
Yep.
And just mush it up with a fork and make it a thick gravy with a little bit of goat's milk to it is really good.
We used to use...
but use the warm water to get it softened and then add your goat's milk to it.
We used to use Royal Canine puppy mousse.
Yeah.
It comes in a can. It's a lot more expensive, and there's nothing wrong with that. But we found
But
this
I mean,
works just as well.
Yeah, if you just keep them continuing on the same one that they're eating.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're going to transition to that.
Right.
It's kibble anyway, so why not just
So you're
keep
not
on
ripping their
food?
guts up because French Bulldogs are known to have a very sensitive tummy, as most of us know.
YG Stilo, if a dog has open pyo while pregnant, do we give her antibiotics the whole rest of pregnancy or until leaking stops? Does leaking... dog leaks but never shows signs of any other symptoms? Well, I mean, as long as a dog is producing... If a dog has an elevated temperature, if a dog is showing some signs of pyo by leakage, antibiotics. And whenever you start antibiotics, you've got to finish the course.
Yeah,
do not give antibiotics for a couple of days.
You need to take her to the vet.
I
if
would.
She's pregnant running a high temp, you need to take her to the vet. What would you say is a high temp, James?
102 or higher.
Okay. So you take her to the vet.
Right.
Because she's pregnant.
Right.
You want to see if it's pyometra. If it's an open pyometra, he's going to tell you that. And it's probably, 7-10 days worth of pills probably.
Well, you can't get antibiotics without going to the vet anyway. And it's going to be at least a course of 8 days. Well, typically...
So don't give her your human
you could.
Antibiotic, but not your pregnant dog, because then that leads you to not go to the vet when he needs to check to see if it's open or closed.
Well, I think you're right about
Let me just say this. When a closed pyometra is going on, that female looks like she's big and pregnant. Because Kiki, we thought she was pregnant.
Absolutely.
The whole time.
And you don't know. How am I drinking a little bit?
So, I don't want people skipping out on a pregnant dog.
Well, I think exactly right. Look, here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with you diagnosing your dogs as long as you know what the hell you're doing, right? And the way you find out what the hell you're doing is you go to the vet.
Honey, nobody can be as smart as you, okay? So,
that's not what I'm saying.
Take your dog to the vet.
Okay, all right. Tammy's just going to be rude to me, so I'll just take it as that. Good Lord.
Yeah, please, a pregnant dog, definitely take her to the vet and see if she's got closed or
Frank
open.
Gardena says, you're so right about dogs catching something from the vet. My female got kennel cough and then all of my dogs.
When we had Labradors, we did that.
Been there. It's one of the reasons why.
Because it spreads like wildfire.
We had a disaster with
it's a
labs
while to
one
get
time.
it off.
We had 3 litters of labs. We went to the vet to go get a medical test done. We came back with parvo. We gave.
Oh no, that wasn't with 3. That was one big litter.
Anyway, but the point here is we've been there. We learned our lesson, and the lesson is this: there's a time to go to the vet. Mm-hmm. If you don't know what's going on, you absolutely need to go to your vet. But there's times not to go to your vet, and that's for routine things that you can do yourself.
That was 30 years ago.
Frenchies of Nola says, I've bred puppies both ways. 100% agree with James. You had to leave mum in a whelp with the puppies. Trying to play mama only will backfire. Let mum do what she does best.
Right. You start taking care of it, that mama dog's going to let you do it.
Yeah, for lots and lots of reasons.
Just like your kids, if you start doing things for them, they're going to let you do it.
Mm-hmm. Cynthia Gale says, thank you all this week. It'll be first time using a large incubator. Good, great. Got a large incubator. Great review.
What?
Cynthia Gale got a large incubator. She's going to have first time using it. You'll like it.
Okay. So quit reading things too fast. Nobody can understand what you're saying.
We're about done here. Marcus Brown, I got an Isabella Merle female that has really bad allergies. She's had a litter of pups, 9 weeks, but her allergies are still pretty bad. What would you give her to help with her allergies?
How old is she?
She's just had puppies. Her puppies are now 9 weeks old. So this is
wait till she has weaned those puppies and she's back to health, and go get. Is it called a Cytopoint? Cytopoint.
Cytopoint's one shot you can give.
Yeah,
but
that'll help her a lot.
Look, I think what you said here is
but also give her a bath to kind of relieve her a little bit in a real mild bathing soap. What?
I want to say something.
Oh, am I over talking to you again?
Yeah.
Do I need tape on my mouth?
Yeah. Well, look, I think what you say is, look, what I wanted to say here was this, which I think you were alluding to. When dogs have puppies, their whole
system gets
Hormones are all
hormone
changed up.
system,
Yeah.
the whole engine gets completely mucked up, and not necessarily in a bad way. But one of the ways this can manifest itself is a dog that's never had allergies, all of a sudden is getting allergies. So don't get in a hurry to start giving things like cytopoint. You can't give that to pregnant dogs anyway, but like Tammy says, wait till they're weaned and give them a little bit longer. Give them some relief by medicated shampoos and things like that. You know, you can give Benadryl to dogs if they get itching like crazy, but give her a chance that she can.
Not why she's got well, if she's nursing babies, for sure, don't.
Well, if they're weaned, you can definitely give a Benadryl.
Yeah.
But the point here is don't get in a hurry unless you're getting really having a hard time. You know, yeah.
Just make sure when you're giving her a shampoo bath in a mild soap first, and you make sure you rinse. The important thing is to rinse that dog good, completely, all the soap off, and then dry her off a little bit. And if she acts like she's feeling pretty good 3 days later, and if she's itching still at the 4th day, give her a medicated bath. Make sure you let it set on there for at least 15 minutes on that medicated
There
bath.
is only 7 people who've not given us a thumbs up now.
Oh.
8.
But anyway, so make sure anytime you give them any kind of bath in a soap that you rinse that completely. But on those medicated baths, you're going to have to let them set with that soap on there for about 15 minutes and then rinse that off.
So we're going to wind this up, but I'm going to say one more thing about this. But Barrett Webb says, love your studs. I'd like to breed one of them. Give a call, 580-799-2873. Call me anytime, or you can call Cody, 806-664-0173. Love to talk to you about it. And look, here's the deal. I think you will find a phone call to us about studs, even if you're not using one of our studs, will be very useful to you. I think you'll learn a lot. And we're not going to put the high-pressure sales on you at all. We're here to help you. We can tell you what you can expect with our dogs. We really do, you know, give what I would call white glove service to people with our stud service. I mean, we follow through the entire thing all the way through to when puppies leave the house.
We're your mentor.
Yeah. Trini Retz here.
Especially when you buy a baby
Trini from New Jersey. Hi, Trini. But so we're going to wind up on this. I'm going to say one last thing about this allergy thing. Look, when you've got a dog that has allergies, your goal is to try to find out what's causing the allergies. If it's because of pregnancy, it goes away when the pregnancy is over with. If it's because of environment, like grass allergies, or if it's food,
if it's the laundry soap you're using and the bedding that they're sleeping in.
Yes, you can likely find out what's going on and eliminate that from their environment. Could be food.
Yeah.
Could be chicken. It could be other things. But the point here is go look at some of our videos now. There are things that you can do that don't always work, but quite often you can fix these things without having to put your dog through lots of medications and spend a lot of money getting it done. So if you can get this done, I'm not a holistic medicine person at all, but if you can get this done by removing the allergen, you're a lot better off than giving a shot to make the allergy symptoms go away. Much better to get rid of the cause if you can find it. All right, I think, Tammy.
So give me a call for any questions or info about those Frenchie babies I just showed you and other Frenchie babies that we have on the ground right now. That is 580-799-1910. Call me and I can FaceTime you and we can give you all kinds of information on these babies and the person that's looking for adult studs for sale.
Absolutely.
Call me, 580-799-1910, or call James at 580-799-2873 for James. And then Cody's phone number is 806-664-0173. But give me a call about my babies and the other babies that we have. I know Cody's got a litter too, so we all got 3 litters on the ground right now.
All those people who gave us a thumbs up, we say thank you very much. The rest of you can rot in hell.
Oh,
no, I don't mean that. No,
that's
kidding.
not nice.
Oh, I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing.
Yeah.
Hey, we really enjoy these. We always learn something from these. Hopefully, you learn something from this. It's just good for people to talk about their dogs. So everybody enjoy what's left of their weekend. Have a good
I'm
week.
so glad Pete joined in.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
All right. So on that, we're saying sayonara.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye, buddy.